Hey guys, what's up? My name is Juan from Just One Reader, and today I am doing a book haul. I actually haven't done book hauls in quite a long time, or at least it feels like a long time. There was a moment in this year that I actually didn't buy as many books as I usually did in past years, and that made me feel like an overachiever just for not buying books in the usual insane amount. But I think I'm starting again. So, I don't even feel guilty. Some people are like, oh, well, I bought more books. No, I'm not even guilty. I think the pleasure of reading and buying books, just the pleasure of books in general, is one of the greatest pleasures in life. And you should not feel guilty about it, even if you never end up reading all the books that you have and that you would like to read. And if your TBR just alarmingly increases every weekend, at least it's books, it's not drugs or something else. So let's enjoy our addiction, shall we? Okay, so the first thing that I have in this book haul is the Percy, Jackson, and the Olympians box set. I originally read the first one, which is called The Lightning Thief, about 5 years ago, and I really enjoyed it, but for some reason or another, I never continued on with the rest of the series. And this past month, my students, who are 11-year-olds, were working on a mythology and mythology project, and some of them read the Percy Jackson books, and they got me really interested on them, so I decided, well, it's time to read them all. Next, I have Every Heart is a Doorway by Sean McGuire. This is about an orphanage, I think, for students, for children that have been to the fairyland or the Fae realm or whatever, and that have come back to our Earth and a reality. And it's about that. It has mixed reviews. Some people really love it. Some people really didn't like it. And I'm sort of not trying to set myself any expectations for this one, just trying to go in blindly and enjoy it or not, but, you know, judge it from my point of view. Next one, I have a novella by Catherine M. Valente, and it is Speak Easy. And this was so expensive because it's a limited edition. They only released 1,250 copies, and my copy is copy number 976, and it says that on the first page with Catherine M. Valente's own handwriting, and it's a signed copy, so this is like precious. I would like to put this in my front door so that all my neighbors could see it and die. I really don't think they would care or even know what this book is. I don't even think they like reading at all, but whatever. So really excited to pick this one up. This is about a hotel in some sort of New York jazz age setting, and it's supposed to be really weird. It also has mixed reviews, but people that I really trust have really loved it. So there's that one. Next one is The Shining Girls by Lauren Bughes. I haven't heard anyone talk about this one, but it has good reviews from authors that I know and love, so I'm hoping to enjoy this one. Next is Dinner at the Homesick Restaurant by Ann Tyler. I don't know what to expect from this one. I think this is more of a literary fiction family drama. I love those kinds of things. Please, if you have read this book or know anything about it, please let me know what's your opinion. Should I read it? Should it be like a super top priority for 2016? Or, yeah. Next, Girls on Fire by Robin Wasserman. I also saw, I think it was Mercedes talk about this one, and I always listen to Mercedes' book hauls, and I want to read everything that she talks about. And this one has a praise here by Kelly Link that says, a book so wonderful, so terrible, so nightmarishly compelling that I hardly knew what to say when I finished reading it. Wasserman has wrapped up a love story inside a murder mystery, a promise and a testament inside a confession, and has a title ever been truer? The reader comes away singed. And that's by Kelly Link. So if she enjoyed it, I will most definitely enjoy it as well. Okay, next. This one is a weird one that I'm pretty sure not everyone would like. It's called The Soulseeker by Georg Grodek. Georg Grodek was one of the pioneers, or, well, one of the people that were there when the psychoanalytical movement started happening in Vienna, you know, with Freud, and he was one of the, we couldn't really call him founding fathers of psychoanalysis, but he was part of the movement. And this book in particular is his novel about a psychoanalyst, and it's very weird. I've brushed through it and it looks really bizarre, like really bizarre, but interesting. And Freud himself read this book back in the day and he really enjoyed it. And right here, Sigmund Freud says that it's not easy to, I'm translating, it's not easy to tolerate such smart commentaries and thoughts. Like the ones that the author is proposing here. So I don't really know what to expect, but I would love to see what Freud enjoyed reading. Okay, next, The Library at Mount Char. I don't really know what this book is about, but it has great comments. People that I trust also really enjoyed it. It's supposed to be some sort of dark fantasy. There's a library. Yeah, just read the Goodreads comments in this one and you will want to read it too. Next, I have The Seance by John Harwood. John Harwood wrote a novel that I really enjoyed. I read it like 10 years ago, and it was called The Ghost Writer, and I really loved it. And people are saying that this one is much better than that one. So The Seance is a gothic mystery, gothic story. There's a decaying mansion in the English countryside. There's some mystic happenings and mystical people and those mystical things, mystery secrets and dark magic, sisters, books. No, it doesn't say books. That was just me putting books here. Yeah, so really excited to have a gothic, dark kind of novel. And the last books that I have are related to fairy tales. The first one is this anthology edited by Kate Bernheimer, and it's called My Mother, She Killed Me, My Father, He Ate Me. These are 40 new fairy tales by several authors, among whom I recognize Amy Bender, Michael Cunningham, Neil Gaiman, Kelly Link, Joyce Carol Oates, Ludmila Petrushevskaya, and more. So this is a big anthology. It's 40 new fairy tales, but it's one that I would love to slowly read. And the last one is actually a non-fiction book, which I don't typically read non-fiction, but this sounded really interesting, and it's Once Upon a Time, A Short History of Fairy Tale by Marina Warner, who is supposedly quite the scholar when it comes to fairy tales and folklore. And here it says, from beautiful princesses, elves, monsters, and goblins, to giants, glass slippers, poisoned apples, and mirrors, the characters and images of fairy tales have cast a spell over us all for centuries. Marina Warner argues that fairy tales have an inextinguishable power to enchant us and rekindle our imagination. Now, a couple of days ago, I presented a paper at the Psychoanalytical Society here in Mexico, and my paper was about the movie and the book Room by Emma Donoghue. And what I stated in that paper was that Room is a fairy tale, or at least it's a narrative that can be paralleled or compared to a fairy tale, not just in the structure, but most importantly in the themes. And I thought it was really interesting to explore why the movie Room and several other narratives that we read nowadays, like, well, many of the books that are currently being released and published, have the same function as the classic fairy tales that we used to read as children, and that are still, you know, popular for a reason. They're popular for a reason. And these books that we're reading right now, like Room, have central themes that connect us to the themes that fairy tales also share, because they talk about central, nuclear, essential conflicts that have to do with our human existence. So yeah, I'm sort of going on a tangent right there, but I've been really interested on getting to learn more about fairy tales and folklore and mythology and those kinds of things. And because I am a training psychoanalyst, that has a lot to do with my job and what I do. And yeah, so I presented that paper, and I've been sort of thirsty for more knowledge on that type of literature, so I think this one can really help me. And that's it, guys. That was my book haul. I don't feel guilty at all. I don't know when I'm going to read these books. Some of them I will make priorities, and I will actually include them on my TBR for 2016, but I realistically know that that's not the case for all of them. It's just not possible, so I'll just read them whenever I can and when I feel like it. This is our obsession. This is what we have. This is our curse, if you want to see it that way, but we are bibliophiles. We compulsively read and buy books, and if you are like me, then you buy books at an alarming pace, and you buy more than you read. So that's just not logical, but this is what we have, this is who we are, and we might as well enjoy it.